Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back. So the Wood Elves have just been announced as the next DLC faction for Total War Warhammer, and as you guys may know, I got a chance to see them at the Mod Awards. We were shown their campaign, how they work, as well as a quest battle with them. So I thought in this video I would just run through my short experience with them and kind of give my thoughts. A little disclaimer, I don't know a ton about the Wood Elf lore, so if I mispronounce stuff or get a few names wrong, I do apologise, just please forgive my ignorance as it were. As well as that, the battle and the campaign I saw is obviously still subject to change until the game is actually released. As well as that, I may get a few things wrong which maybe I misinterpreted whilst talking with the developers of the DLC, so I highly recommend just going over to Creative Assembly's Total War page on Facebook and just keeping an eye out for all their videos and all their live streams and stuff to get fully informed on the coming Wood Elf DLC. As well as that, there won't be any new gameplay or anything like that. At the moment it's only the trailer which has been released, so that's all I'm going to be sticking in the background, but don't worry, as soon as I do get any form of gameplay I will be uploading it to the channel so you guys can check that out. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also drop a like on this video. The Wood Elves will have two legendary lords to pick from in both the campaign and the individual DLC campaign. Orion, who will represent more of the elf side of things, and Durfu, who will represent more of the treeman and spirit of the forest side of things. Obviously both these legendary lords can recruit everything from the Wood Elf roster. They will have their own campaign, which will be in Athel Loren, which I probably just butchered. This is positioned south of Bretonnia. This is an individual campaign which will have a whole assortment of different factions such as the Vampire Counts, Beastmen, Dwarfs, Bretonian, and obviously other Wood Elf factions. And I believe they said that this campaign is much bigger than the Beastmen one, which we got not so long ago. They will also be playable in the Grand Campaign, and they will start again in Athel Loren, which has just been opened up, which before was just an enclosed dense forest, but now is opened up into a province or two. The Wood Elves use a resource called Amber and is the only faction to use this. The resource is mostly used to recruit epic monsters and higher tier units. As well as this, every tech in the Wood Elf library has an Amber version to it, which will give you more bonuses but also cost you more Amber. Amber is gained through taking cities and allying with other factions. You can run a deficit of this resource, but negative effects will occur whilst you do. For example, I could own 3 cities which give me 1 amber each. I then decide to buy 4 epic monsters which cost 1 amber per unit to upkeep. I am now running a deficit of -1 amber, which will then start the negative effects for not having enough amber. After a couple turns of say defeating a few armies I needed these epic monsters to do, so I can then decide to get rid of them. This will then remove the upkeep cost of the amber and put it back into my supply, then putting me into a surplus of amber again and getting rid of the negative effects. The Wood Elves have a political system much like the Empire, being able to assign lords to certain offices. They gave an example of being able to make someone Master of the Hunt, and when a certain event is triggered, such as the Great Hunt, I believe that's what it's called, but I'm not 100% sure, so apologies if I've messed up that name. The character who you assign to that position will then lead this event, which I think is really cool. Adds in a bit more immersion, adds a bit more consequence to your actual actions, which is really cool. As well as this, the Wood Elves have the Grand Tree. At least, again, I think that's what it's called. Apologies if I'm wrong. Please educate me in the comments if I am wrong. This is the center of the forest, which is just a huge tree on the campaign map. You can upgrade this to give your entire empire more bonuses, and apparently when it is burnt down from an enemy taking it over, the animation is absolutely amazing, so I can't wait to see what that looks like. We got to play one of the newest quest battles with Orion called the Silver Spire. This is where the Beastmen were trying to poison the water supply in the forest and you were there to stop them. You were positioned fighting back to back with another Wood Elf AI controlled army, with the Beastmen coming from both sides. In the roster, we were given access to the Elf Spearmen, a ton of Elven Rangers, soldiers on Mooseback, again I think they're called mooses, I'm not sure, they probably have their own special name. A forest dragon which looked absolutely amazing, it had flowers and green patches growing all over it, it looked really cool. And some treekin, as well as a magic caster and an archer hero who could shoot from the forest and not be detected. The army itself felt very much like a glass cannon. It can output a ton of damage, however if it gets bogged down into a melee, it will just get chopped to pieces. They do however have some units such as the treeman who can tank a lot of damage, but the majority of the roster is quite fragile. Overall, from my short experience with the Wood Elves, I would say they're very much a welcome addition to the game. They added in a very unique style of play which we haven't seen before, and just, you know, having wood elves or elves in general in the game is just going to help spice it up even more and make it feel much more like the Warhammer universe we're all used to. I'd like to say a massive well done to all the people working on this. It looks really, really good, and the DLC team have, in my opinion, excelled once again. The actual art of it looks spectacular. It makes it feel like you are playing an Elven campaign, and I think they've hit the nail on the head there. I'm really excited to see what they continue to announce with the Wood Elf pack, and I can't wait to play it myself. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I just kind of thought I'd give you all the stuff kind of I found out whilst I was there, and give you guys a bit more information about how the Wood Elves will actually play, and a little bit about their army roster. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys any gameplay or anything, but I'm sure Creative Assembly will be showing that very, very soon. So make sure to check out their Facebook and their Twitch page, because they'll be obviously showing it on there. Make sure to drop a like and a comment if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you haven't already, as I'll be producing a ton of Wood Elf content when the game comes out for sure, a load of battles, and I'll maybe even stream a campaign if that's what you guys want to see. So I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.
Sega. The deep wood stirs. The chill winds of winter are past, and the season of war is here. The Asrai are hunters. And the forest is our home. Woe betide those foolish enough to threaten it. There have been sacrifices, but we